In the world of Warlord, there's a unique feature called Slot-On. When a player activates this skill, they are temporarily granted power drawn from the Warlord world itself, allowing them to manifest into an enhanced form. This form varies greatly depending on each player, from a fiery warrior with demon horns, an elegant female commander, to the shadowy figure behind Hyrkan's chilling smile. Returning to the battle between Hyrkan and the wolf, suddenly a stream of dark blue energy erupted, roaring and swirling violently around Hyrkan. Within the energy vortex, a pitch-black, angular armor gradually materialized, encasing his body. The familiar Ha-Ho mask now glowed eerily, its lines seemingly animated by a mysterious blue light. This is what most players powerfully refer to as overdrive mode.
Enchanting azure flames fiercely blazed around Hyrkan's body, reflecting in his bright eyes behind the Hade mask. A defiant smile appeared on his lips as he subtly beckoned with a gauntleted finger, his challenging voice ringing out, "Come on in." In response to the provocation, a colossal ghost wolf roared an earth-shattering sound. Its mouth gaped wide to its ears, revealing jagged, razor-sharp fangs and a throat as deep as an abyss. Without a hint of hesitation, the monstrous creature lunged, its shadow engulfing Hyrkan's small figure. But the young man did not waver. He stomped his foot down, launching himself into the air like an arrow to directly confront the beast. The ghost wolf, with eyes glowing crimson with killing intent, simultaneously swung his gigantic claws. Deadly red streaks tore through the air, forming a dense web of attacks. Amidst the storm of blows, Hyrkan spun in midair, his movements unbelievably swift, gracefully weaving through every gap in the assault. He somersaulted over one slash, then used the monster's own body as a pivot to dodge another blow, turning their furious attack into a stage for his own agility. In a fleeting moment, as if finding an opening, the ghost wolf gathered all its strength and lunged to seize Hyrkan. A blinding explosion erupted at the point of impact, its terrifying power shattering the ground beneath into pieces.
Hyrkan nimbly dodged, crouching and sliding away, his toes digging hard into the dusty ground, readying himself. Almost instantly, a surge of fiery red dark energy struck the spot he had just vacated, its terrifying power causing the ground to crack and crumble. Concealed in the air after his narrow escape, Hyrkan coldly assessed the situation. He thought to himself, it truly is a boss monster. Speed, strength, everything is just too overwhelming. If it hits me 4 times, no, just 3 hits and I'm done for. Facing him, the colossal beast let out an earth-shattering roar. Its entire body was a mass of bulging muscles beneath its jet-black fur. Its 3 bloodshot eyes on its head glowed with ferocity, and the dark red energy emanating from its body was like an infernal flame. Yet, despite this menace, a chillingly sharp smile spread across Hyrkan's lips. A brilliant blue aura suddenly erupted from his body, dispelling the suffocating atmosphere. Hyrkan charged straight towards the monster like a blue arrow, energy swirling around him to form a sharp blade.
The monster's agonizing roar echoed through the space, shaking the ground violently. Amidst the desolate scene, Hyrkan stood firm, dark wings radiating a gloomy blue energy that enveloped his body. He smirked, an excited and arrogant smile appearing from behind his mask. This is what makes the game interesting, isn't it? Before the words had even finished, the smile on Hyrkan's lips vanished, replaced by an expression of extreme astonishment. The monster didn't fall. Instead, it was transforming. Its body swelled rapidly, a dense darkness enveloping it, turning it into a massive, many times more ferocious entity. A thunderous crash echoed as its colossal claw slammed down, pulverizing the ground and flinging Hyrkan away like a leaf. Thrown a distance, Hyrkan stumbled upon landing, his eyes still wide with surprise. He exclaimed in bewilderment, "Whoa? Oh, right, this is its berserk state." He sighed softly, briefly covering his face in a mix of embarrassment and amusement at his own forgetfulness. I completely forgot. Before him, the beast had completed its transformation. Now it was a colossal mass of shadow, vaguely shaped like a ferocious wolf, with eyes glowing red like burning embers, ready to tear everything apart. Despite the imminent danger, Hyrkan stood up straight, his expression calm again, even somewhat defiant. He pointed at the monster and called out, "Hey!"
Hyrkan still wore a chilling smile. His eyes gleamed with a mystical blue light as he looked up, where a familiar figure was hurtling down from the sky. "Perhaps you've also forgotten something," Hyrkan spoke, his tone full of challenge. Instantly, from above, the skeleton warrior with glowing eye sockets swooped down. The werewolf monster, having just triumphed, flinched in terror upon sensing deadly peril from behind. It had no time to react as the skeleton warrior, in a flash, swung its longsword to form a fatal arc of blue light. At that very moment, Hyrkan sprang up, dust swirling around him, and roared his command, "Skeleton, execute the move we practiced." Hearing the order, the skeleton warrior tightened its grip on the sword hilt, ready for the coordinated attack. The monster spun round, its 3 bloodshot eyes bulging, letting out a thunderous roar filled with anger and shock. Simultaneously, Hyrkan and his skeleton warrior landed directly in front of it, forming a perfect pincer movement.
In the decisive moment, Hyrkan and his skeleton warrior simultaneously charged from below. The gigantic werewolf, already on the offensive, had no time to react to the sudden coordinated attack. A series of bright blue energy slashes, interwoven like a storm of sword energy, tore through the monster's powerful body. Fresh blood splattered, dyeing a whole area of space red, painting a brutal scene of death. The monster let out a final roar of immense pain before its heavy body collapsed onto the dusty ground. Below, Hyrkan and the skeleton warrior stood firm without a single scratch on them. A clear "ting" sound rang out, and a blue system notification appeared before Hyrkan's eyes. "You have hunted the werewolf." Immediately after, another notification appeared. "Slot on deactivated." Eerie black smoke began to pour out from the haughty mask and armor, gradually dissipating into the air. The disguise vanished, revealing Hyrkan's true face beneath the hood. He smirked with utter self-satisfaction, his cold eyes gleaming with absolute contentment at the recent victory. Not bad.
A brilliant golden light erupted, signaling the end of the battle in Bima Mountain Cave. As the light faded, a series of familiar ting sounds rang out, and system notification windows continuously appeared before Hyrkan's eyes. Skeleton Warrior has defeated a very powerful monster. Bone Shard skill has increased to rank E. Standing nearby, Skeleton also seemed to sense the change, its eye sockets flashing with excited blue light. A shower of rewards began to pour down. You received 20,865 gold. You received werewolf skull. You received werewolf leather. Hyrkan grinned with satisfaction, hands casually on his hips, while the skeleton soldier behind him raised its arms in celebration. He exclaimed gleefully, "The dungeon rewards are indeed quite generous." But the biggest surprise was still ahead. Another notification, distinctly separate from the previous ones, ceremoniously appeared. You have received Necklace of the Fallen Hunter. Before him, a beautiful necklace floated in midair. The pendant was a mystical purple crystal with a strange eye carved inside, radiating an eerie glow. The item information panel confirmed its extraordinary value, an unique chronicle item, increasing all stats by 18 points and requiring the title Fallen Hunter for use. Hyrkan froze, his eyes wide in astonishment. He couldn't believe his luck, his voice trembling. A unique chronicle item? Even if it's untradeable, it's still on a much higher level than regular unique items.
Hyrkan froze. A cold drop of sweat began to trickle down his temple. "Wait," he mumbled, an unbelievable thought suddenly flashing through his mind. "Fallen Hunter? Could it be?" Ding! A system sound rang out, and a blue notification window appeared before him. 3 new titles have been recorded. Below it were 3 empty slots hovering, awaiting revelation. The first slot lit up, displaying the text, "Promising Recruit, Int plus 3%, Magic plus 3%. Hyrkan nodded slightly. Promising Recruit, that's exactly what I was aiming for initially. Immediately after, the second slot also filled. Hero Challenger, Stamina plus 3. He frowned and thought, so the entire hero title series also appears here? Well, I cleared the dungeon solo, so it makes sense. Ding! The sharp sound rang out again as the third and final slot began to glow. Hyrkan held his breath, but when the text, Fallen Hunter, appeared, he was completely stunned, only a huge question mark remaining in his mind. Fallen Hunter? Hyrkan exclaimed in astonishment, his eyes wide in disbelief. That's the opening title for the first chapter of the main quest? fallen count? His mind was immediately drawn into another vision, the main quest. In a world submerged in fire and ashes, a giant dragon with blazing red eyes roared in anger. Standing before it was a mysterious count with an eye emitting an eerie red light and a malevolent smile. A flood of massive memories rushed back, for this was the core plotline, the very backbone that created the entire universe of Warlord.
Because the reward was so extraordinary, any player wanted to participate at all costs. That was Warlord's trump card. In the dark space of the game, Hyrkan trembled, his mind shaken. He thought to himself, in my previous life, I had just barely gotten past the 4th chapter, but now I've unlocked this? This isn't just luck anymore. I've hit the jackpot. A radiant, wildly excited smile bloomed on Hyrkan's face. The surging feeling of extreme joy made him unable to restrain himself any longer, and he yelled, "Lock out!" The virtual world vanished, making way for the real-life scene. The sunset sky was painted a soft pink-orange, casting shadows on a quiet apartment building. In a dark room, lit only by the light from the computer screen, Jaehyun sat motionless. On the screen was a paused live news broadcast. A character in modern white armor was eloquently declaring, "The Hydra Guild has officially entered the final chapter of the corrupted count scenario. Our goal is to complete it within 3 months." Jaehyun's hand holding the mouse had just pressed the pause button. He silently looked at the screen, the other hand holding a cup, lost in deep thought.
Tears streamed down Jaehyun's face, mixing with the dried blood at the corner of his mouth. What kind of jackpot is this? He thought bitterly. Thud. He slammed his hand on the desk in despair, the screen's blue light casting on his indignant face. Someone has already reached the final chapter of the corrupt count? If I jump in now, I won't get anything. Damn it, what a waste! Head bowed on the cold table, Jaehyun let out a long sigh, a sense of failure overwhelming him. Maybe I should skip this turn and aim for the next chapter? But then a flicker of thought sparked in his mind. Wait a minute. Jaehyun's eyes widened, a daring idea suddenly emerging. What if this is an opportunity for me? He sprang up, lunging towards the computer screen with renewed energy. His eyes shone brightly, fixed on the screen. Jaehyun mumbled, his voice full of determination. Right now, the whole world is focusing its attention on the corrupt count, with immense interest. This is Warlord's first main quest, and it's about to be completed. What if a video related to the corrupt count is released right now? His finger moved decisively, placing it on the mouse. Click. The mouse cursor pressed the play button on a video player, initiating a plan known only to him.
In Jaehyun's mind, the vision of wealth and fame shone brightly. Millions of views would pour in, bringing with them a shower of money and the recognition he so longed for. Sitting in front of his computer screen in the dark room, Jaehyun's eyes gleamed with a determined red light. He muttered with a confident smile, "Luckily, I recorded the entire gameplay. I'll have someone edit it and upload it directly to YTube. Editing is key. I can't entrust it to just anyone. So it has to be that person, the one known as the edit saint in my previous life." With that thought, he quickly drafted an email and hit send. In another room, amidst a clutter of instant noodle cups and snack wrappers, Romeni was eating noodles while browsing her phone. Suddenly, the phone on the table vibrated, signaling a new email. She picked it up to read, her brows slightly furrowed. Video editing request for a dungeon clear? Hyrkan, level 15? Her voice was full of skepticism as she read the sender's level.
In the dimly lit room, illuminated only by her phone screen, Romeni leaned back in her chair, her eyes narrowed in suspicion. A sarcastic smile played on her lips as she scrolled through a new video. What kind of exciting dungeon-clearing video could a level 15 player possibly make? Probably just some rich newbie trying to show off on social media, right? However, as the images on the screen continued to play, her ridicule gradually faded. Romeni's eyes behind her large round glasses widened, her suspicion quickly replaced by a flicker of astonishment. She unconsciously sat up straight. Bang! The chair was pushed back forcefully as Romeni sprang from her seat, leaning forward, her hands pressing firmly against the table. She stared intently at the small screen, unwilling to miss a single moment. Her breath seemed to catch, then a whisper escaped her parted lips in stunned awe. "I found it." Immediately, the dim space around her seemed to brighten. A radiant, almost wild smile blossomed on Romeni's face. Her eyes sparkled like stars, reflecting a powerful inspiration that had just ignited. She held up her phone like a treasure, her voice ringing out in exhilaration. "My muse!" Meanwhile, elsewhere, the city at night stretched out, sparkling like an artificial galaxy with countless skyscrapers. Inside a luxurious high-rise room, a powerful woman stood with her back to the room, silently gazing at the magnificent view through a massive glass window. The faint blue light from the tablet in her hand cast a glow on her figure, next to a waiting glass of red wine. She then called out loudly, "Director."
Behind the vast, cold-toned room, a man in a neat suit rushed forward, a hint of worry on his face. "Madam, did you call for me?" Chae Seolyeon didn't turn around. Her voice rang out, steady but tinged with interest. "A video related to the degenerate count has just been uploaded. How interesting. A level 15 player single-handedly defeated a degenerate werewolf." The man flinched slightly as he looked at the tablet in his hand. "Ah, that video," he stammered before quickly regaining his professional composure, pushing up his glasses. "Our team has also checked it, but the degenerate werewolf's level was quite low, so there's no need to pay attention to it, madam." His explanation was cut short by a simple yet weighty statement. "I like it." A faint smile bloomed on Chae Seolyeon's luscious red lips, a smile that conveyed absolute delight and determination. "I want that." Her voice turned sharp, an undeniable command. Her gaze lowered, exuding the aura of a ruler. "Bring it to me."
In the cold, calculated business world, Chae Seolyeon is a name at the peak of power. As the heiress of Thunder Group and the world's top businesswoman, her every gesture exudes majesty and sharpness. Under soft light, her calm eyes held deep calculation. Her flowing black hair highlighted her proud face. But her power isn't confined to luxurious boardrooms. When the real world falls silent, another persona emerges in Warlord's virtual realm. There, she bears a different moniker, a living legend. The space around her transforms, dissolving into a shimmering digital matrix. Her calm eyes now blaze with brilliant blue light, like two pure lightning bolts. This is no longer Chae Seolyeon, the corporate heiress. This is Sirre, the Thunder Queen, absolute ruler of the game world. Her gaze flashes with unparalleled might, a true queen reigning on her digital throne.